Take few. Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to another episode of Jason Gooner TV. This time it is the Reggae Girlz squad reaction. We have a match coming up end of the month, and we're going to be playing Trinidad and Tobago in a friendly. And this is going to be the final tune-up before the World Cup qualifiers get underway in November. So Coach Hubert Busby and the girls need to take this opportunity to put all the final pieces to the puzzle together, try to come up with a plan to face Dominica in November for the first game of the qualifiers, and what is hopefully to be the road to another World Cup for the Reggae Girlz. All right, so we are here to break it all down. Today was the reveal, the press conference happened via Zoom. I had all intentions to be there. Kind of broke my streak today, kind of upset about that. I'd been present at all these reveals and able to ask my questions on the day, but wasn't meant to be today. So today we are going to break it down, listen to the press conference, talk about it. Then we're going to look into the squad, look at what the players have been up to. That's my thing, trying to find information about the players. On the thumbnail tonight, you see the coach, Hubert Busby, front and center. And then you see two players flanking him. Of course, you see Jason Gooner TV as well. But yeah, there are two players flanking him. I don't know if anybody knows these players. I would love to see in the comment section, those of you who are here. I know anybody who's here right now is a true Reggae Girlz fan, because right now, the Reggae Boys, obviously 2 games left to get to the World Cup, but tonight is girls' night. I thought the squad was dropped today. Let's go ahead and make some content tonight about the Reggae Girlz. So yeah, this is going to be a little different for what you've probably been seeing in the space as of late, but hey, a squad was released, so let's talk about it. So look, there are two people on the screen. And one plays in Liga MX and one plays in Portugal, in the top league in Portugal. So I don't know if you all know who these players are, but anybody that's here can put the names in the comment section. I will let you know if you are correct. All right, bless up, bless up, bless up, bless up. Hines chose England. Good luck to her, says Joseph Brown. Blessings, Joseph Brown. Yeah, Taylor Hines did make a decision this window, and she chose to go and represent the Lionesses. It is a friendly game, and yeah, but I don't want to dive too far into that, because definitely going to be a talking point from the press conference and the reaction, because we're going to do a live reaction here. I'm going to go ahead and play the press conference for you guys, and we will react to it on the spot. All right, bless up, bless up, bless up, Conrad in the building. One boss, I'm saying, bless up, Tuffy Rudy, big up yourself. Hope all is well with you and the fam. Looks like I might miss out on Taylor Hines. Big loss. Yeah, so I actually watched her play today, because I watched a big majority of the Arsenal game today. And yeah, I never thought when she went to Arsenal, I was thinking, okay, excellent move for her, because obviously Arsenal is a better club in the women's game than Liverpool. But at the same time, I was thinking Katie McCabe is like a mainstay at left back. But to be honest, she has been putting Katie McCabe on the bench from time to time. So yeah, Taylor, very, very good baller. This team bigger than him. Boy. Conrad, you notice we never say you're wrong this way, But I think I'm not gonna say you're right either. But boy, the evidence I show some things. You know them way there? But people, you don't know it's a YouTube show, so please smash the like button, smash the like button, smash the like button. I have done my part. I've shared the content around to the various places where I think would be interested in seeing the content. So you guys know, do your part. Like the video, get it running in the algorithm, so we can yeah, have a good show. All right, but what I'm gonna do is I am gonna get this ready to go. Let's see. I'm gonna get this ready to go. All right. that's working. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we're gonna listen to the presser. My right. Yeah, looking at it that way, yeah. So yeah. So that is Gabriel Gill to my wait. Dang. So if I am okay, yeah, to my right. When you say Gabriel Gill, are you talking about this side of me? Which should be right on the screen. I was muted. Go to live, and you'll see me talking and hear me. Big up the man them and our women them in the chat. Yeah, man, Joseph, you have to make sure you big up the women them, because some of the time them, you talk to people and you swear, say, a man you address. And it's really a woman. Jaja. So you have to big up all genders. All right, so nobody not drop the name. Bobla, didn't she move from Liga MX? To my knowledge, no. To my knowledge, no, she didn't move. Because I soon show you the squad, we're gonna have the list. And she's listed as oh, you're right. Let me see something. You might be right. But it's the most latest one. She a walk-up play there. All right. Big up David J in our building. Big up DJ Gigs in our building. Yeah, man. Hope all is well. Smash the like button as you reach. All right, people, ready? Let's hear this press conference from today, people. Let's hear the presser. All right, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go boom, bang, bang, bang.
Thank you very much for being here. Welcome to the squad announcement press conference for the Jamaica women's senior national team, the Reggae Girlz, as they prepare for their upcoming friendly international against Trinidad and Tobago later this month. As we know, this match is in preparation for the upcoming World Cup qualifiers. The Jamaicans will start their campaign later this year in November, and the next three World Cup qualifiers will be in the first quarter of 2026. Just a reminder of the group itself. Jamaica has been drawn with Dominica, Nicaragua, Antigua and Barbuda, and Guyana. Those are the teams that Jamaica have been drawn in the preliminaries. And the group winner of each of the six groups will join the United States and Canada in the final round of World Cup qualifying, which is slated for November 2026. So without further ado, would like to have some opening remarks now from the head coach of the Jamaica senior women's national team, Coach Hubert Busby, who will provide some opening remarks before getting into the squad for the upcoming game against Trinidad and Tobago. Coach, good morning. Over to you.
Good morning, Simon. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us here today. Hope everyone is doing well. Before we get going, just want to acknowledge Steve and the Reggae Boys for their win the other night against Bermuda, and obviously wish them the best heading into November's games. Before we get into everything else, just want to again acknowledge the success of the players and the things that they're doing, not just obviously locally, but also abroad. And with that said, we want to, introduce you to the squad. So Simon, by all means, share the squad. Thank you.
All right, so yeah, before I start talk again about the squad, I could just read out the squad. Becky Spencer, obviously everybody would know Becky Spencer, Chelsea. Sydney Schneider with Tampa Bay Sun. Alison Swaby, Crystal Palace got relegated, playing in the championship now. Tiana Harris, that's a new name. She's at Damaense in Portugal, top league in Portugal. She's the captain, plays defense, centre back. We have Kanya Plummer at Fenerbahce now in Turkey. Obviously, everyone would know Kanya Plummer, veteran from the first World Cup in 2019. Was not at the 2023, but played in the first one. Tiffany Cameron is gone back to Canada. She was in Europe for a few years. She's with Halifax Tides now. Interestingly enough, listed as a defender in the setup. We know she has made that transition recently, but it's interesting to see her actually listed as a defender. I don't remember that being the case before. Gabrielle Gale, she is from Lancaster Inferno. Also Atletico de San Luis. So I am a bit confused as to where she is. But anyway, we will get into that once I detail the players and we'll go through the list. Sade Adamalekon, she is back as well, still at Hearts over in Scotland. Jalia McPherson, she's at FIU. If you follow the Reggae Girlz closely enough, you would know her from the U20 team for Jamaica. She was a captain there. Then we have Denisha Blackwood. Then of course, everybody would know her. And also, interestingly, Jalia is listed here as a midfielder, and she's actually a defender. So it's another interesting one there. Then midfielder, like to see that. Hopefully, the player further forward. I always thought that she should just move further forward. Cruz Azul in Liga MX, that's where she is. Izzy Grooves, good to see her back. A lot of people were wondering why we only got to see her for that short period of time. And then, the club she's at in Ireland, she was able to get them all the way to the Champions League. They won the title as well, and she was influential. So people were not understanding her omissions for the last few windows, when we played all these friendlies against these top opposition. But good to see that she's back into the team, see what she brings to the team this go around. I'm sure she will get some time to show what she can do. Atlanta Primus, she actually probably on form of people in this squad this go around. She's probably the most on form player. So Atlanta Primus definitely playing well for Southampton. Vian Sampson, she is still over in Asia. She's listed as a midfielder here, can play central defense as well. But we have seen Jamaica deploy her in midfield many times. Kayla McKenna, she made the move from La Liga over to Zurich. She's in Switzerland, and she's been doing well there as well. Kayla McKenna, probably another one that you could say is on good form going into this window. Natasha Thomas, another one that's on good form. Ipswich got promoted to the championship this season. She's had a good start to life there. Shania Hales, Newcastle United, not quite firing like she was last year just yet, but still quality player. Jody Brown made the move to Marseille. Definitely going to break down all these players, show you what they've been doing tonight. So don't go anywhere if you want to learn about what the girl's been up to. Nigeria, but she's still at U of Florida. And yeah, she is listed as a forward here. I remember her from her time with the youth teams, also with those Xavier Gilbert led teams that played in the Gold Cup qualifiers. She was playing mainly a defensive role, but has been converted to a more attacking role. So going to be interesting to see her playing that more advanced role. And Kiki Van Zanten, Houston Dash, definitely had a good comeback season for her club and has always looked sharp to me when she gets her game time with Jamaica. So yeah, that is pretty much the squad for now. And let's go back to seeing what the coach has to say about it, as he's about to talk about it right now. But I always say the regular press conference, them never come with cuckoo juice with this coach in them. Yeah, I really feel like this coach definitely is quite honest, you know, maybe maybe for his sake to a fault sometimes. Don't know the young lady in white kit, she doesn't look familiar to me. Yeah, okay. Tiff plays forward, crazy. That was at Lancaster Inferno, USL. Ironically, Izzy isn't fit. Yo, you know, I had one, you read my mind, but because I'm gonna break it down, I was gonna break that down in a little bit because I was noticing a trend of, you know, when she was actually playing games, and you know, it's kind of crazy that now is the time because wholly part of the time she been playing and doing well and they don't call her, so I don't know. Jason, when last have we seen Bunny in the squad? It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Yep, Joseph Brown, no Washington. If you check the records, Izzy hype from the British lady is inaccurate. She's not even an everyday starter for her club. Okay. Well, football guru, if you know anything about me, you know, whatever anybody say in the comment section going to either get proven or disproven during the course of the show because we're going to actually put it on the screen what these people are doing. You don't have to take it from me. Exactly. Easy. We operate counter. Yeah, because she had spells where she was really doing well. And I'm like, okay, she's doing well. But what's the deal? All right, let's go.
All right, so we have a camp slated next week in Trinidad from the 23rd to the 29th. A little bit reduced squad based on availability. So for next week's group, it will be Becky Spencer, Sydney Schneider, Allison Swaby, Tayana Harris, Kanya Plummer, Chantel Swaby, Tiffany Cameron, Gabrielle Gale, Sade Adamalukan, Jaylee McPherson, Denisha Blackwood, Izzy Groves, Atlanta Primus, Bryant Sampson, Kayla McKenna, Natasha Thomas, Shania Hales, Jody Brown, and Jerry Butts, and Kiki Van Santen. Two players who were going to be included, but we've had conversations, well, three actually. Drew Spence has picked up a knock last week prior to, so Tottenham informed us that they're going to hold her out, and we hope that she'll be ready for next round. Trudy was in the squad as well, and she's picked up a knock. Bunny Shaw is out. Last week, I was in Manchester and had a good conversation with Bunny and her group, including her physio as well as our medical team. We're going to keep her out of this round. Obviously, she's in fine form, but there's one or two things we want to make sure that she's great on heading into the next round. So all is good from there. She's doing well. She's in obviously great form. We want to keep it that way, but we want to make sure that she's great heading in, and those are discussions and sort of the compromise that we've had with her club. So we're going to monitor that. May her form continue, and obviously we hope to see her next month. All right.
All right. So yeah, I have to pause it right there. So so it's like David J knew what was forwarding next because he said no Bunny with a question mark. One done. Canada laugh. But yeah. So basically he said there were three players that basically were or would have been in the squad. But due to other things, or other reasons, they can't get here. So Drew Spence picked up a knock at Spurs, pulled out of the friendly, of the engagement with the game. Trudy Carter as well picked up a knock, picked up an injury. Probably shouldn't go ahead and test that out now in this game, so she stays. And also Khadija Shah. Now Bunny Shaw basically, from what I gather from what he said right there, they would have wanted to ensure that, you know, anytime they call Bunny Shaw, she's completely ready. So it sounds like he said, you know, they went with their physio, their medical team, and they went and spoke to Manchester City's physio medical team, doctor, everything, the club itself, the manager, and discuss what's going on for this window. You know, they want to bring the player is fit, she's in form, you know, what's going on. So it's quite clear without him saying too much there that some kind of agreement would have been struck, that because he did mention next month. And obviously the reason to mention next month, people, is that's when the World Cup qualifiers kick off. So when he said they came up with some agreement, I am of the mind that they are thinking, okay, look, we know Bonnie is fit, we know she can come and play this friendly, but you know, we really would prefer if she doesn't travel and play this game. And you know, furthermore, is a friendly, and you know, then probably bring up all kind of things and reasons. And instead of fighting it, we'll probably just say, listen, we don't want no issues when the qualifiers them reach, so just know say that time is forwarding soon. So don't bother trying no foolishness when we want the player for the actual World Cup game them, and then probably work up something, you know. So look, I know that this is gonna be going all kind of ways now, because it's a lot of windows this now, we don't say money. But just remember, from my recollection, all these windows, except for maybe the one after the South Africa games, Bonnie would have been injured and can't come. So let's not make this out to be a, you know, because somebody asks if Bonnie can pick and choose camps now. Who did ask that? Who did ask that? Is he won her league, so we call her real organized behavior. Meanwhile, at club, she's a captain. I was played sparingly because they had to manage her playtime due to being in recovery. So Bonnie, I pick and choose the camps. Yeah, there we go. So Stefan was asking about picking and choosing camps, and I don't think it's a thing like that. I just feel like they're just worried about her health more than anything, you know, and they're just like, if we can minimize the travel and the play any kind of way we can, they're gonna take advantage of that. But yeah, I don't think it's a Bonnie don't want to play thing, honestly. I know that's what they're going to turn into. I know that's what. I'm not saying you saying that, Stefan, but I just know say that's gonna become like a thing, like, you know. She's scoring and playing better too. Yeah, she's playing well this season. How is Bonnie injured? I'm a city tete. I watch her diving every weekend and running like the wind. Bonnie fully fit. Said y'all ain't mashing up my title hopes. Yeah. Man City just beg it out, man. And just say, yo, you don't really need Bonnie for that Trinidad friendly, yeah? And you know, we just look on it and say, no, we don't. So them don't call her. And let's not blow this thing out of proportion more than it needs to be.
As far as the college players are concerned, we have deliberately and in consultation with the player.
So this is for the people that are for the person. I think it was somebody said no Washington. Yeah, Joseph. This is for the people that was asking about Washington, and this would include Washington, Simmons, who else again? Young Van Zanten, Mimi. Yeah, the whole Florida State crew.
Players and the schools, they've been omitted unless prior arrangements have been made. As most of you would know, we have a large contingent of quality college-based players. They're in the midst of their season and they're heading into tournament play. And again, we want to, and not to mention an incredible scholastic workload that we've taken into consideration. So we wanted to, as again, if they are selected next month, provide a compromise where they're not missing over 2.5 weeks of school and, you know, close to 6 games in the middle of their season. So that compromise was made, hence the reason why some of those players have been omitted. All right. And I'll open up to the floor and be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Coach. Much appreciated. So, members of the media, we kindly ask that you raise your hand, and once you're indicated, unmute, and then from there pose your question to Coach Busby. So, Matthew, you can go ahead. Good morning, Matthew. Go ahead.
Good morning, Simon. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Coach, obviously, the big news as of recent is that Taylor Hines has accepted an English call-up. Although it's a friendly match, and as such, she won't be cut-tied. Do you have any, or internationally tied rather, do you have any comments on that situation? And is she still up for consideration in the international qualifying, Coach?
Mute. Go ahead. Good morning, Matthew.
Coach, obviously, the big news as of recent is that Taylor Hines has accepted an English call-up. Although it's a friendly match, and as such, she won't be cut-tied. Do you have any, or internationally tied rather, do you have any comments on that situation? And is she still up for consideration in the future? Essentially what I'm asking is that situation fluid at the moment?
Yeah, I think she's actually alluded to that her future is up in the air. She hasn't made a final decision yet. We respect that. We've had numerous conversations or communication, including yesterday, and we respect her decision at this time. It's unfortunate in terms of some of the matches we would like to have gotten her in previously, but some of the paperwork, and again, some of the things are outside of our control, outside of her control. There's a process that she needed to go through, and unfortunately it took a lot longer than expected, and the reason why she couldn't participate in some of the other games. And depending on, as I alluded to in the past, in previous press conferences, depending on what arrangements have been made and what type of games, even though they're friendlies, the stipulations regarding documentation, hence the reason why she wasn't involved in some other games. But again, yes, it remains absolutely fluid at this particular point in time. She's made that decision. We respect that decision, and we'll wait to see what transpires in the future.
Thank you, Matthew. A reminder.
Yo, so you guys heard that, right? You guys heard that. So one of the headlines for the video tonight was Taylor Hints, right? So let me when I heard that answer, I was a bit surprised because I think, and I should probably segue now to Taylor Hines' IG, because once the news came out that she was in the England squad selected, she did come out with a post, which might even be gone now. I think it is gone, Cha. Yo. Anyway, I'm sure a lot of you seen it. Probably have it somewhere too. Can read it to you a lot. But yeah, she basically said that, listen, the situation is still fluid. Right? So he doesn't believe that the door is completely closed. At least that's what I gather from his answer. And he said he's still in contact. So yeah. So we should assume Hines played for us without papers. Yeah, well, look, that game in question against France, I'm assuming that game must have had relaxed rules where paperwork is concerned. Maybe it's a situation, I don't even know what the situation would be, because now that I have more knowledge of the citizenship to passport process, I would think that she would have to have had something to play for Jamaica in that game. Surely it couldn't have been, paperwork is in process so she can play. I don't know though, but it all depends on the two teams playing the game and if it's an official game or not. So it's an interesting one. But Yeah, my assumption was that the rules were relaxed, based on her not being selected after that because of what he keeps saying is paperwork issues. Now, I don't know. I don't know. Taylor IG didn't sound like the door is closed. Sarina sound like the door isn't closed either. So we better go St. Thomas and she played a few games, but you don't have to have a passport when the teams agree on allowing her. Yeah. It wasn't a few though. It was just one game. She played one game. It was against France. I'll never forget. Picked up a big score, and it could have been worse. For certain friendlies, no paperwork needed as long as both countries agree. Yeah. And that me just say. I don't know who is the mall? Cause these names are all different, Who is this? I don't know that name. It's different from what it normally is. All right. Go through.
Remind the members of the media to raise your hand, and once you're indicated, then you can pose your question to Coach Busby. Thank you.
Big up, Pastor.
I'm sorry, Simon. For some reason, my laptop is not allowing me to use the raise hand feature.
No problem.
Unless
You can
somebody
proceed.
else is ahead of me who has raised their hands, I'd like to ask a follow-up question to Matthew's question.
Go ahead, Karen.
Can I
Good
go
morning.
ahead?
Good morning.
Morning, everyone. Coach, I'm a little curious by your response to Matthew's question about Taylor Hines. Unless I am misunderstanding the FIFA rules. You said that the situation is still fluid, but my understanding of the FIFA rules is that if she is capped for England in an international game, then she becomes ineligible for selection to another country. So I find it, if my understanding is incorrect, you can tell me. And if my understanding is correct, can you explain why you are telling us that the situation with her is still fluid?
Well, and it's a good question. And so it's essentially the first part, I think he alluded to, it is a friendly. So I think that's where it comes in. So other than, qualifiers or nation league games or or Olympic qualifiers, World Cup qualifiers, nation league games, those games count as full international. So, or games that they would be cup tied. But since she is going into exhibition games, the idea that they don't necessarily cap, that there's a certain number of games that she would need to play before that becomes official, but that is not the case at this point. So as long as there continue to be friendlies, it's the same way that she played for us and was able to go back, the same way that she would still be able to make that decision.
Simon, may I continue? I have a follow-up to this one. And I also have well, okay, I'll leave this issue then because I do have another question. Coach, is it that you have not shared the details yet of the friendly, next week friendly? Can you give us information on that? Where is I assume we're playing Trinidad and Tobago. Are we playing their national team? Is it a club team? When is the game? Have those contracts been signed?
Yeah, I believe the first part Simon alluded to the friendly coming up next week, the 28th in Trinidad. So we will play the federation has not confirmed the time yet, but it will be in Trinidad. It will be the Trinidad women's national team. The venue, I believe, will be in Port of Spain. So we're just waiting those final details from them. But yes, all that has been made official now, and we look forward to that match. As you know, that's a great rivalry between us and Trinidad. Our biggest, Caribbean rival, and they're in the midst of their preparation as a seeded team as well. So we look forward to that game as a big match and test prior to our qualifying matches.
Thank you very much, Karen. Gregory, go ahead. Good morning. think you're muted, Gregory. Go
I
ahead.
am now. Right. Good morning, Simon. Good morning, Coach Busby. The question I want to ask is that over this past year or so, you spoke about the various international games that girls have played, as well as looking at a pool of players coming out to see who would really make the final squad for the double qualifiers. With a lot of the key players absent this time, firstly, what are you expecting to see from these players against Trinidad, and how much of these players can you expect to make that squad for the double qualifiers as well as the double championships come next year?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think if you look at the roster, there's a strong core of players that have been with this group for a while now. So we've used the opportunities to maintain a core of players. If players aren't available due to injury or for whatever, or personal reasons, we've respected that heading into other games, and it's allowed for us to build our group of core group of players. And you've seen a lot of those players participate in some really big matches where they've gained some really valuable experience. And obviously, maybe the result or the scoreline wasn't needs to be, but if you look at some of those players now, especially some of the young ones who are in college and what they're doing in college, it's been invaluable experience for those players. This particular group and the core remains intact. There are players like Tiana Harris who we're bringing in, who is a player we've been following now for a while. She's been playing in France and she's doing well in Portugal. So it was a great opportunity to bring her in to add for competition for places, but also add to the depth in the back line. You look at Gabrielle Gale, who was doing well in Mexico, and been monitoring her and seeing how she's doing. And she's a local born player that we want to see how she's kind of progressed on in the last year and a half playing abroad. So this is a great opportunity for her to make a claim. And then you have someone like Jalen McPherson, who's a captain of our U20s, who's last time she was in with Mexico, but we feel compelled what she's doing in college as well. And based on her conversation with her coaching staff that support her with the national team, and her schedule allowed her to come in for these games as well. So all those selections have been deliberate. Some, again, as you said, we simply have not been able to bring in players for a variety of reasons. But again, that could be the case heading into November. So we have to be able to have a core of players that we're comfortable with, a core of players who understand what's required. And I believe we've had that with the group of players selected for this upcoming match.
All right, so I had one. There you go. So some of these schools, just could have afforded to not, to send these players away. I think with the situation with a team like Florida State, with it going to the playoffs now and postseason, they have aspirations to win the whole thing. I don't think that University of Florida or FIU can say the same. So I would think the situation will be a little bit different for them. Their coaches might see it as better exposure for them to believe in. And, the FSU coaches like, winning a national championship is better exposure than going to play for Jamaica against Trinidad. So, I don't know which one you think is right. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I'm just telling you how they're probably thinking from their end, Coach might be wrong. Like the reporter, I thought the rule about a limited number of games are for players who are under 21 and they are capped even when playing a friendly after. Guru, I wonder the same thing, but I don't know why I feel like a competitive game is what needs to seal the deal, Today's Taylor's decision is not going to make me think anything bad of her one way or the other. JA needs to fix the recruitment process. Yeah, the recruitment and also just the process of naturalization altogether is way too archaic, and like where you have to do all these things, and I don't know. Yeah. FSU a big side, Them side I go for the glory.
Simon, I can't raise my hand, but can I ask a question in because I don't have that.
So there's a hand raising thing in Zoom that people were having trouble with. So, people had to You can see Simon's frustration right there, people. Like, yo, there's one way to keep this thing organized. Raise your hand. And, you know, a couple times people just couldn't do it. So, and just take matters into their own hands and say, yo, I want to ask a question, you know. But Simon dealt with it professionally.
One moment, Leighton. Bryce, do you have a follow-up question? Or are you finished?
Oh, sure. I might one more question. I might leave it. I don't remember the person's name. She was a Brighton defender that had played for Jamaica in the nations, the friendlies we had played against Spain, Australia a few years ago. But she didn't. She played those set of games, but then she didn't make it into the squad.
Yeah, I know you're talking. Yeah, I know you're talking.
Right. And now we see where Taylor Hines came for Jamaica and now back at England, even though he said the situation is fluid. Can I speak about the issue of recruitment, bringing in players who are interested, but then, as you said, sometimes documents take too long and then we don't have these players for the long-term future. Is this a concern for you, or is this just, are these just...
Yeah. Look, I think it's, you know, the process is the process, and I think everyone who understands how that citizenship documentation goes, that those things are out of our control, right? So, you know, we always talk about the staff and the players controlling the controllables and doing the best that we can and forging ahead and remaining focused on the task. It is always going to be a concern. It's a concern now, a concern then. But the reality is, if you look at modern football, male and female, regardless, this is happening throughout the globe. This is not just something that is unique just to Jamaica. You know, male and female today was indicating, you know, a big player who's at a male club is now switching from his homeland to go play for his parents of birth. And, you know, that it continues to be an issue. That's why we as a staff have looked at younger players, continue to work with the local ones here. But the recruitment process of dual nationals is ongoing because that is the landscape in the times that we live in. And if you're standing still, you're behind. And so two things need to happen. And I've always advocated this. Two things need to happen at once. We need to continue to develop our local players and provide them with the resources and the support they need, as well as coaching, support in terms of club structuring. That needs to happen, full stop. Then again, we also need to look at players who are now expressing their interest to play for Jamaica at a younger age. How do we get them into the system early? How do we obviously indoctrinate them into our system, culture, beliefs? And most of them already have that because they get it home every day. So that's not really been that much of a acclimation problem. But to your point, you're right. It is a continuous ongoing process of looking and evaluating players. And we have that process in place in which we are evaluating over 65 players on a weekly basis that is spread out amongst all our staff that is responsible to monitor players on a week-to-week basis. So yes, it's ongoing and will continue to do so until that final squad is selected.
All right, so basically asking about how you manage the whole situation of players, you know, not being sure what they're going to choose and all these things. And he's just saying, listen, it's a constant battle amongst nations around the world. He referenced another place where the guy just decided to switch after saying he was going to do one thing and playing a friendly or whatever the case is. Now I'm switching over. So it's something that just goes on in football, and it's something that we're going to have to deal with as a nation of you know, a lot of people that have spread their wings and gone to create families other places. You know, Jamaica has spread its wings very far and wide, and you know, some of these people would love to represent Jamaica, and I think that the you know, what he said there was something I've always been preaching, which is people, I think, once they hear recruitment and they hear, you know, bringing in players to come and represent the country that, you know, weren't developed in Jamaica, let's say, you know, definitely obviously weren't born in Jamaica either. That means that, you know, you're stopping development in Jamaica, which I've always thought is an absurd notion, because, you know, development is not really going to be taking place at the stage when these players are coming to represent the country, at least at the senior level. Now, when someone levels that argument at the youth level, you know, if that's if the response is, you know, this is for development, so why don't we help to develop the kids that are actually on the island? You know, that's something that is much more of an arguable debate. But when it comes on to the senior teams and everything like that, I don't think if we really are being serious about competing at the international level, that the national team itself should be where we are developing. So it should not matter where the players were developed or anything like that when you're picking your national team. So look, I think that point is probably the best point he made this whole press conference, as far as I'm concerned, because I've always said that, you know, you can still develop and you know, help out or, you know, continue to push the grassroots level and still have a recruitment process that works and is functioning at the senior level. I don't think those two things, you know, they're not linked, not in my eyes at least. Oh, the phantom player is Victoria Williams. Victoria Williams. Yeah. Looks like them threw Izzy Grove away. She's back, track spec. I don't know who track spec is, because I don't think that's your name otherwise. Coach is probably right. I just got from another source which says a player can play as many friendlies as they want and are captain. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's the competitive thing is serious. Players under 21 years old need 3 internationals to be capped. Those who are 21 need 1, but I await the updated rules. Yeah, I think the big sticking point past that is competitive or not competitive. Yeah. Calamarchi and Van Zanten was caught up in similar situation. That is true. Matches have to be competitive. That's how I understand it. Yeah. Bless up Logan, Wagwan. The Reggae Girlz time, you know. All right, couple. I think it's the last question, if I'm not mistaken. Now, this is Leighton, long-time reporter from Jamaica, very experienced. So let's hear his question. I think he wants some clarity on the whole Bunny Shaw situation. So let's listen keenly right here, people.
Thank you, Bryce. Leighton, thanks for your patience. Go ahead.
No, man, no problem. Good morning, Coach. Good morning, everyone. Coach, I'd just like for you to expound a little bit more on the Bunny Shaw situation. You said she's healthy, she's playing well. I've watched her play. Can you be a little bit more specific about the concerns / issues why she won't be available? Because she's playing well and she's been out for a while, recovering from injury, and now she's healthy. So I'm a little bit befuddled as to your explanation about why she's not available. Can you shed some further light on that dynamic for me?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, there's some information that is private, remains between Man City and ourselves. I mean, you know, she's, you know, you speak to her like what we did last week, and it was great to see her, and great to see also, I would say, Ricardo Bibi Gardner was actually at the game as well, supporting her. So it's great to see her in fine form. And yet the crazy part is that you speak to her and you speak to the club, she's not quite at her great yet, which I think is fantastic for us, and obviously you know, a problem for the rest of the Women's Super League. The concern, like we know, is the potential pitches and different things that we might have to experience. And rather than risk it all in a match that is a friendly, after all, we're taking the concern to kind of see how things are, to make sure that she is coming back in. She's in great form, but they have some concerns, and we want to honor those sort of concerns, or maybe a better word of making sure that the monitoring of things going into these matches. And so the collaboration, the discussion was, we would kind of make that sort of compromise to wait until the next round to bring her in, as opposed to bring her in for these games. So, like I said, all the specific details of what that surrounds with her are private, but the idea is we're looking out for the best interest of her And obviously, Man City is short term and long term. And remember, as you can see, there's 2 years in a row that she's been out for some lengthy period of time. So even though she's coming back, they still want to make sure that she's, in good form heading into their matches. And subsequently, when she's healthy for Man City, as I've always said, then she'll be healthy for us. So we understand Man City's being cautious with her at this time, especially so early in the season.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Leighton.
All right, so without like giving away exactly what they would have said, whatever Man City would have said, like, specifically, basically told you there what I was thinking in the beginning, which is like, look, this game is not, in a grand scheme of things, the most important game in the world. It's not a game that it doesn't hurt us per se to go into this game without Bonisha. As a matter of fact, I think with most of the strikers that we have been using playing games against opposition where we are, for the most part, underdogs, losing games, defending for 90 minutes for the most part, I would think that these strikers, I would want to see them play a game where they're actually going to have chances in the game, see how they convert, how their finishing is, give them some confidence going into the qualifiers in November. So, look, it's not the worst thing in the world. I know Bonnie hasn't been in the team for a long time, but people, she's the type of player that if she's fit and on form and ready to go, she will just slot in. Players will play with her. It will be fine. Shouldn't make a big deal out of this. That's just my take on it. I mean, some people will disagree with me, I'm sure, but I don't think we need to be worried about this. I don't think we need to worry about this. But other people will have a different opinion for sure. But yeah, the club is dealing with the situation with kid gloves, because she has had some injury concerns the last couple of seasons, and yeah, she's looking really good right now. They don't want to break that momentum. But one thing I will say is when he says that this was kind of done with an eye to the November window, knowing that they'll want, that will need to be the case. That will need to be the case in November. It can't be in a situation where, hey, please, it's Dominica. Does she have to go? No, none of that. Let Bonisha forward and score 20 goal on Dominica and 20 goal and so on, so she can go down in history as the great or whatever. I don't care. But she needs to be coming and playing during all the World Cup qualifiers, because that's when the team galvanizes, that's when it really gets serious. So she needs to be a part of that. So hopefully this whole, all right, we'll do what you want to do now, just say that down the road, everything good. Hopefully that style work out, I don't always agree with Bonnie, but it was be a dumb decision to bring her over for this window. If she gets injured, we'd never hear the end of it. She suffered injuries 2 consecutive years. Yeah. Busby, you are too soft. You're setting a bad precedent. FIFA rules are that clubs are obligated to releasing players when called unless they are injured. A player is not injured while playing. Yeah, no, I think I don't know why you're saying injured, because it's clear that they just spoke to them and just really they came up with an agreement that they wouldn't bring her over for this window. It didn't have anything to do with injury or anything. It had more to do with preventing injury. According to the web, Victoria Williams was released from Brighton in 2023. She's 35, appears to be retired. Yeah, I know when she got called for that little tournament, that pre-World Cup tournament thing in Australia at that time, she was already, 33-ish, 32 maybe. Maybe it's because I practice much. Yeah, that's why. This will give the other players a chance to showcase their potential. Yeah, look, this game, I mean, we will finally play a game on the front foot,
Coach Busby, thank you very much for your time, and members of the media, thank you very much as well for being here this morning. Members of the media, for your respective bulletins, the recording will be sent out quite shortly, so that you'll have access to it. Thank you for your presence this morning, and we look forward to your continued support, not only towards our senior women's national team, but all our national teams moving forward, as it is a stacked rest of 2025 ahead and busy 2026 ahead. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a pleasant rest of the day.
Pleasant rest of my day. All right, so big up to Simon for the video and JFF Live. So yeah, Simon looks so over everything. Yeah, that's so true. I would love to play poker against Simon. I think I would win. Pretty much shows exactly what he's thinking. Shaw did not get injured playing for Jamaica. She was injured in England. I didn't say she got injured playing for Jamaica. Somebody said she got injured playing for Jamaica. I never said that. While I would love to see Bonnie, I appreciate the decision on a relationship building premise. Getting her for qualifiers is the important thing. Yeah, Pastor, we agree there totally, because this is not, in the grand scheme of things, this game against Trinidad is, you know, it's more about, it's less about Bonnie Shaw being there than, you know, giving an opportunity to some players to see if they can break into your team, you know. Travis no love the women's football thing, you know, so him not go there for them show it. You are not a great listen. Didn't hear Busby talk about the fields. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Okay. That's what he's saying. Yes, he did mention the fields. That's right. That's right. So maybe I shouldn't take that comment so literal. That is true. Because I'm thinking like somebody actually said it. But yeah, I see what you're saying there, Guru. Big up determined. What go on, bro? Hope all is well, you know. But should not come over here to mash up for our corner league. All right, people. So we have the squad. So you know my thing, people. No itching. Let's see what these players are up to. You know, who is playing football, who is just getting called because, you know, the coach just know the player from time. All right, so Rebecca Spencer, people. So Rebecca Spencer, our number one keeper. She made the move. She made the move over to Chelsea. Perennial WSL champions. But their number one goalkeeper right now is England's number one goalkeeper as well. And so it's been a very tough time. A very tough time for her to get games. As a matter of fact, based on what I'm seeing here, she has not played a game this season for Chelsea in any competition. So that is a bit of a worry. Taylor Hines. Yeah, she have some friendly to play with England. She in the squad. So let's see. Surface are trash, so we shouldn't mash up Bonnie on it. Well, that's the thing, you know. I don't really ever agree with Guru. Ever. But the point I'm saying about the president thing is real, because if the reference or the reason why they don't want to send Bonnie is the fields, I have a news flash for everyone. I think every field that we play on is going to be something that the city the Man City staff might deem to be not a field they want Bunny to play on. So my hope is that they know it's a risk, but they also know that the World Cup qualifiers is not about no risk. It's about getting the job done. So yeah. I won't jump the gun and say it's a big deal until November. Now, if November forward and Bunny in the same form, same fitness, and some other stories come in the press conference, then we have a problem. We have to really discuss it more seriously. But for now, I wait and see how the November one play out. All right, so Becky Spencer people, Chelsea, as I say, nothing now going for Becky people. She not get no game. She's a part of Chelsea's squad, so you know she's getting some top quality training. but yeah. Yeah, Becky Spencer. But I check every website to make sure when I miss a game or she did play or something. But people, but I will say, as I said, Chelsea, when it comes down to the women's game in England, they are the pinnacle. They're who everybody is chasing. So she definitely is in a top environment in terms of training and getting prepared. She's going up against some of the best strikers, best ball strikers, everything. So she's getting great repetitions in. How many of you know say Becky will win the Champions League? Bet you never know that. But yeah, she's at Chelsea people. And we know Becky's quality. She's a very, very good goalkeeper. You know, I think probably one of the better goalkeepers at the World Cup in terms of statistics for sure. The last go around. So yeah, Rebecca Spencer back in the fold. She had missed quite a few games. She was out with injury for a while. Seen her doing punditry of late as well. Definitely look like she have a future in that. You know, very, very sharp on the ear. Seems very, very natural as well. I don't know if any of you people saw that, but yeah, man, I was impressed. Pastor said, Becky as a second keeper is not a worry for me because of the level and quality of player she's competing with for playing time. True. My theory is that Chelsea got Becky to mentor, train their goalies, so more like a coach than a player. Could be. See her as a good kind of mentor to Hampton. Becky was lured to Chelsea because they had emergency injury concerns. Afterwards, they signed a second top keeper and screwed her playing time. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, that they got another keeper as well as Hampton now. Chelsea female team is fire. It isn't a big deal for me. It was just a coach was acting as he's talking to some idiots. The team is better off without Shaw at this time. Yeah, I think the team better off without Shaw at this time is a bit of a stretch, but I mean, I guess when you put that last part of your statement in context, yes, because her just staying healthy at this moment is more important than her playing against Trinidad. Question: can the president request the FIFA to move the games out of the country because of our poor condition of our field? I don't think so, you know, because I don't think so, because I think there would only be sanctions for the country itself. I don't think that they would like this. I don't think the sanctions would be moving the game though. You know, there'd probably be fines levied or something if the field is, well, obviously if the field is like deemed unplayable, then there's definitely fines and all kind of things. But if the field is playable, then yeah. It's just that what is playable is debatable. Chelsea wasn't going to sign Becky for funsies. They have a goal, that one missing trophy. Again, theory is she's coaching. I saw the punditry, she's good. Yeah, Hannah Hampton, yeah. Spencer won the Champions League without playing one game for Chelsea. But she still have it though. Love to see the Swaby sisters play. Yeah, I concur, Jason. Becky is pretty good analyst. Yeah, man. She just natural with it, man. I was impressed. All right, so Becky Spencer. They say I was doing my research before. There's Gabrielle Gale, but we're not rush it. The next player is the other goalkeeper, Sydney Schneider. So we know one goalkeeper now get no game time, but we say the level is superb. So we're not too worried about the game time so much. All right, so here's Sydney Schneider. So she is at Tampa Bay, right? Tampa Bay Sun. And she has played, 5 games this season? That's it? Wow. So why she only play 5 games? A 26 game this side play. I don't have so much keeper. My gosh. Amount of keeper them have. So this is the USL Super League. I think this is below the championship and the NWSL. It's the 3rd tier. But yeah, she hasn't played a game in a while. And they're playing games right now. Just play last weekend. Tampa Bay Sun. Want a match report, people. Can't get none. But this is the match report. Brown Star. Can't see a lineup or nothing. Hold on there. Tampa. Yo, people them love disrespect the women's, let me see. Okay, so Sydney just play. I said, bro. Wait, that's a 4 games she play. And way more than 4 games she play. Alright, so Sydney been playing, people. Whew. Alright, I'm sure, because you might not believe me. Remember, people, smash up the like button. We have a little bit more to go in the show. We're just going to go through the whole squad. And then we have one last thing to touch upon before we go in. And that is the hidden gem segment. Somebody brought up a player to me today, and when I did some research on the player, I was like, wow, this is what this person is up to. So yeah, I just want to reveal what we find today about this one player. She just might be a hidden gem. All right, so Tampa Bay Sun. I don't think we have the worst fields. No, not the worst. Sid ain't doing super well. That may I say. Spencer won the champion. Yeah. But Chelsea didn't win the Champions League. But yeah, the Champions League that she has was when she was on Arsenal, yes. 3 draws, 2 losses. Sydney played only 5 games for a reason. I'm trying hard to be complimentary. Yeah, but she just started the last 2 games. So me I wonder. All right, see that again? Yeah, let me show you. Come and see some highlights where they. I'm gonna see her play. I'm say, all right, that's good. Okay, them gone 7 game, right? The season start then. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. All right. So 7. All right. So the first game them play Brooklyn. Sydney start. The next game. Oh, go on. Next game them play what? Sporting Jacksonville. And Sydney bench. I don't know. 1 game and bench. Carolina. Sydney start back again. 2 all the match draw. Them get 2 love. Sydney start again. That's a 3. She played 3 out of the first 4. 1 all. Them say Sydney hold a bench. Say it look like she just start bench now. Okay, start again. That's a 4. So I don't understand the coach. And then she start this last one. So she start 5 out of the 7. She bench 2 times. She keep a 1 clean sheet. Well, big up Darren, Wagwan. Big up in a legend. We're outside. And late night, yeah. Yeah, so Sydney Snyder, she has come to the national team playing less games. So at least she'll play. She'll play some football at least. You know, not going so well for them in the league, but she'll get game time. She was 7 games played, start 5 of them. So yeah, let's see. I don't know if she's gonna play, to be honest, but let's see. Maybe he does a 45 thing, but let's see how it go. Or you know, who knows? We don't want to speculate, but we shall see. Those are the 2 goalkeepers though. So let's move into the defense line now. So we have Tiana Harris, Chantel Swaby, Alison Swaby, Tiffany Cameron, Kanya Plummer, and Gabrielle Gale. Now, the thumbnail that I had today had 2 players on it. One was Gabrielle Gale, and she would have been in the red and white, I believe, to my right. And she plays in Liga MX for Atletico San Luis. And then we have Tiana Harris to my left. So who are these players, you might ask? Well, our good friends at SofaScore will tell us. So this is Tiana Harris, people. She is Canadian born. She's 5'7". She plays defender. Just watching her play, I actually, when I saw the list, I went and did some research on 2 players that I didn't know. Tiana Harris, Gabrielle Gale. All the others, you know, I would have known to be tracking them and see what they're up to. Speaking of which, let me start her now that I know who she is. But this player, I didn't really know who it was per se. So I had to really go and do some research and figure out who this player was. Now, I did come to realize that she recently made the move. She was over in France up until the end of the 23-24 season. Then she moved to Portugal, and based on what I'm seeing, I believe that she brought this club up from the lower division to the top division last season. She's the club captain now. She's 25 years of age, and based on a little bit of investigation work in the social media, I believe she has a previous relationship with Alison Swaby, because I did see them, in some photographs together. So off the field type of stuff. So yeah, a player that clearly has some kind of link to some of the players already in the team. A professional player, fully professional now for a couple of years, been playing in Europe. Clearly has leadership qualities about her. She's the captain at her club team. And yeah, she really looks like she could very well be a good find. I implore any of you, let me go to my history actually. I'll show you guys a little bit of what I was looking at earlier on today. Here's the video. Yeah, so they played a game against Sporting, and I was watching it because them pick up a 6-love, but I figure if she was playing defense, I'll see a lot of her. Yeah, she does have Canadian heritage, and she is the captain of the team. Davia will be in the World Cup squad. Well, the Mall, I don't know. I think Davia could very well have been in it, but I think Davia has made some decisions that could come back to haunt her where that is concerned. But we never know still. We'll see how it play out. But I don't know. Davia, Jaja. Alison isn't fit. Slowly coming back. Chantel barely plays. Both aren't really clicking. Yeah, it is a true thing. Every time I'm checking for the Swabies, I'm not happy with where I see them. Noticeably, we have captains and leaders in our squad. Yeah, that's a good thing. All right, so Tiana, as you can see, it's been rough for them in the top division. They have 3 losses and a draw. Getting 6 and 8 from the two, powerhouses in the Portuguese Women's League, Sporting and Benfica. And she had a rough time in those 2 games. But, from what I saw, she does have some good tendencies about her in defense. Has a decent enough turn of pace. I think one thing that stood out to me is, she's noticeably, is stronger on her right side, but is not afraid to spray passes, break the lines with her left foot as well, which is something that I was really, really happy with, because we don't really have a quote-unquote left-footed centre-back, and I think too often, whichever player is on the left centre-back side of things, they get themselves into trouble just by not even wanting to even use that left foot. So that was something that stood out to me, just looking at needs for Jamaica in that back line. And yeah, I do think, based off of the limited bit of scouting that I did, about a half a day worth of looking at clips and seeing what she's about, yeah, I think she could end up being a good find for us. I think the one thing that's going to be interesting to see is obviously how do we react to playing in the region. That's something that definitely comes into play for some players. But we shall see. We shall see. But I don't think that I see enough, just from the little data that I gathered today, that does lead me to believe that she can indeed be an asset for us and help us moving forward. So So Tiana Hines, as you can see on the screen, rough start to the season for her. And that's, mainly down to what's been going on with the opposition. But started every game so far. You see the recoveries, aerial duels, 1 yellow in the 4 games. That's one thing that I did notice. She is kind of like, I don't want to say a stylish defender, but you don't really see her going to ground much. Kind of composed in the way she defends, which in a way could be a positive. But yeah, she doesn't really dive in much. At least again from the limited data that I did gather. Of course, as time progresses, I will watch more of her now that I know to be looking for her. But yeah, I'm interested to see how she slots in. I do think that based on her pedigree and based on what she's done in her career so far, I wouldn't be surprised if we see her get a lot of opportunities just to see how she looks in and around this team. But yeah, Tiana Harris, again, this is the player right here. Did spend time in France as well. With SC Fleury. And actually, come to think of it, that is probably the connection with Chantel right there. Because Chantel was also at Fleury at one point. So yeah, that makes perfect sense. Because I was thinking, like, what's the link? Because I know Chantel isn't a Canadian. I know she was kind of brought up in the US. But yeah, that is the link, the Fleury link. So yeah, that make perfect sense. They would have become friends there at that club. So boom, Detective Jason strikes again. Exactly, at Chantel former club. Same thing. Yeah, so that's Tiana Harris, people, on the thumbnail tonight. As I said, defensive player, right-footed, but can use both feet, plays on the left side of a back 5 or a back 4, left center back in a 4, or, left center back in a 3 of a back 5 sometimes. So yeah, she definitely has that versatility, and just due to the fact that we don't have a quote-unquote left center back that's left-footed, I do see that, if she can acclimatize herself to the team quickly enough, she could very well be getting some opportunities in that role moving forward. We did mention just now, I think I had one said it in the comment section, Alison. She is Alison Swaby is injured. Actually, no, she's not. She just played. So Alison been playing. So she was out for a little while. And then she's back now, playing consistently since she's been back from her injury. So far this season, see, that's the League Cup, see the Championship, started 4 games. Palace with 3 draws, 1 win, it looks like so far in the Championship. Or the league stay. Palace down in 8th position. Jaja. Yeah, so Alison Swaby looks over it in this picture. Like she's had enough. Yeah, but Alison Swaby, obviously a mainstay at this point. Captain of the team. Obviously Bunny, typically the captain, but Bunny won't be around this go around. So I would think that Alison will wear the armband again. And yeah, at this point, a mainstay in the team, 29 years of age. a bit worrying at times. Some of these previous games we're playing, but I'm just wondering how much of it is just we're just so severely outmatched that it's hard to judge, what's going on with a player every time just based on how they play with Jamaica. Based on her getting the game time with Crystal Palace, that's a good sign. I think a part of why Alison sometimes doesn't look the best when she comes is, some of her club situations prior to getting to Crystal Palace weren't the best for her game time, and that did show on the field from time to time. But I do think if she's getting the reps consistently, she's gonna look good, Alison isn't playing a lot of minutes. They are easing her in, not sharp. Yeah, she does look happy. I don't think Tiana paperwork is completed. She might be better than the younger Swaby. Portugal Top Women League is no joke, and she's regular for her club. Yeah, she's the capo. She is the capo. Yeah, Angel City. She looks like she has on the Milan jersey in the shirt, but I know Angel City was rough times, that whole situation. So you don't think Tiana paperwork is completed, Jaja? Well, I hope it gets completed because I am very, 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 very I think the fans are gonna like her for sure. I'm very excited about her. Like I said, my limited research for about half a day today. Yeah, man, I was pleasantly surprised by what was going on, what I was finding. All right, so we have Alison. So they're attached. So let's take a look, people. And it's not going to be happy viewing for Jamaica fans. She's 27 now, Chantel, sorry. But yeah, she finally. So all right, let's see the breakdown of what's going on. So Women's League Cup, she started, played 48 minutes. Coaches are wicked. Now Super League, she's made 2 appearances. I think them gone about 6 games in the Super League now. She started one of them. She got 94 minutes total. So 94 and 48 is the extent of Chantel minutes so far this season. Did she play in the FA Cup? Not yet. So it's not the best of starts to life this year with Leicester. Yeah, we'll see how this affects her. Look, the good thing, WSL training, top level. So, and she has gotten game time. It's not like she don't play at all. So, yeah, she has gotten some game time. All right, so we have Alison Swaby, Chantel Swaby, and then we have the top defender, people. The top defender, Tiffany Cameron, to royal card. Halifax Tides, that's where she is now. She's 34 years of age now. And as you can see, their season been going for a little while. She's playing the Northern Super League. Yeah, Northern Super League. 12 appearances, 9 starts, 1 goal on the season. You see that came a couple weeks ago against Toronto. And these are the standings. Halifax down in last place. Look like them now making the playoffs. But yeah, Tiffany made the move. So Tiffany getting game time. But where is she playing? That's the question. Where does Tiffany Cameron actually play for her club? I mean, she got 1 goal, so I hope she's not playing forward. I had one. What position Tiffany playing at club level? Like she play striker. Cha. So she's playing striker, people. Big striker where list defender upon the people and team. Rough. Yeah, she's playing striker. Keeping the seat warm for the younger players. Time for her to move on. Halifax suck. Yeah, they're horrible. Benchers United, Angel City, Dallas, and Dirty, but nothing but results for them. Yeah, she'll play forward. But yeah, she'll keep the seat warm. I don't know, man. She's like, I think she's just one of those players that, you know, everybody likes, you know. I think the team like her, she have good vibes, you know. I mean, a player that I've always liked, you know, but I do feel like I don't know. The jury is still out if I love it. I don't really love the right back thing that they've been doing. Don't really like it. All right, so Kanya, as you know, is over in Turkey at Fenerbahce. So hold on there. She not play no ball this year. Yeah, tell me say. Hold up. She played one game last season, so why should not play football now? People, this is why I'm always a checking them, man. So look here. They're not connecting with Tiff. She's pretty decent as a forward, but the club sucks. Don't like her play. She's Canadian like the coach, teacher's pet. They say it's a Canada team, my bill. Guru in a easy, you know, man. No, but to be honest, people, Kanye Plummer has not kicked a ball forever. So I don't know what is happening. Yeah, this team is playing football, you know. I'm gone 3 games. Them get aside 15. My gosh. 2-1, 6-0. Well, she never played none of them games, the people. Not one. So I don't know what's going on with Plummer. I have no idea. Anybody have any thoughts on what's going on with Kanya? Because she don't kick a ball yet this season, people. Unless me just now looking at the right place them. From Epsom St. Mary. Remember. Yeah, Kanya. Don't know what you're up to, you know, Kanya. I don't know what you're up to, but you're not playing football for Fenerbahce Istanbul. All right, now the next player, people. See if I can find her. What she up to? Gabriel Gale, people. So you see it, Atletico San Luis, them saying she's 5'8", she's a defender, played at South Alabama for university, took them to the NCAA tournament, did represent Jamaica at the youth level as well, but This class Sura season was last. This ended way back in April. They're in the Apertura now. I think they're about what? 7-8 games into the season. And Gabriel Gale hasn't kicked a ball for them. So I don't know what is going on. A couple of these players not even kicking a ball this season as yet. You heard him mention Gabriel Gale being, a local player that has gone overseas and is playing, and they want to kind of assess and see where she's at. I did like what I saw from her clips as well. I didn't get to see any more recent clips. Most of what I saw of Gabriel Gale is from her time at South Alabama. And yeah, she looks to be pretty composed in defense. Very, very good speed. So very, very good like recovery pace, which is something I think Jamaica needs at times. And even though she has that height, she did look to have the athleticism to be able to play like even a right back role if we needed. So yeah, I think she's somebody that I would be willing to give a chance as well, just based on the fact that she is playing her trade in Liga MX. When she was playing towards the end of the Clausura season, she was playing a lot. But again, I would just want to be figuring out, okay, what's the fitness level of these players? Why they're not making appearances this season for their club, but they're getting it. Kanye is listed in the starting 11 a week ago. Really? I usually playmaker. Start on point here. But why? Must have been like on them IG page or something. All right, so Gabriel Gale, another one, people. YouTube, we can find some clips of her as well. Like I said, athleticism. Looked like she was really the standout player for our college team in defense. And yeah, just want to see. I think actually it's good that she's playing in Mexico. A different style of ball game where, in terms of how the defenders kind of defend, the coaches would want you to be able to play out from the back, keep possession, which is something that I think you can see that she's a decent passer, has good range of pass, but I think her decision making was a bit slow sometimes. So I think Mexico will help a little bit slicker. They're more of a premium on the 1-2 ball game, not the 6-7 extra touch ball game. So I think that's a good actual place. If I was just looking at her and saying, hey, how can you develop? I would say go to like a South American or Central American league and just try to go somewhere where ball position is an emphasis, So yeah, I'm interested about her as well because, most of the people we've been bringing in, not most, there have been a few like Cardoza that I've liked. But some of them, it's been clear that they're not quite maybe ready. And I feel like at least these two that we're bringing in are, playing at good enough levels as far as league is concerned. And, definitely based on some of the players we have looked at, they definitely deserve a chance too. So I had one say, okay, but it was on my IG page. Yeah, I figured it was on my IG page. So this was what day, October 5th. All right, so that's interesting because a while ago, I did the pan Fenerbahce Istanbul. So this game, but them not the damn lineups anyway. So I don't know what I look for. Yeah, so look like the Turkish league. Them not try put the stats now with people. Them not want nobody see it. All right, so that's the defenders now. We're into the midfield, but this is really another defender. Person. So she's at FIU. And as you can see, the NCAA is not ramping this year. They might give stats and everything. She played more than 8 games though, so I don't think this is fully active. Or maybe she only play 8 games for real. Hold on. No, let me leave this one. May I tell me so? Yeah, so she's actually played 14 games, started 11. I know she's actually a redshirt freshman, but she's one of the captains on the team as well. So you know, continuing from the U20 captaincy to this. But yeah, Jalen McPherson, she's definitely a defender. Don't know why she's listed as a midfielder here, but yeah. I did confirm from IAD1 that Kanya did start on October the 5th. So that is good. So she did play some football. All right, that's great. All right, now, player that I think is probably the foreign player right now. Actually is in this team. Is Atlanta Primus. She's at Charlton, 28 years of age. And she has played a League Cup match. And in the championship so far, she started all 6. She has 2 goals. It's in a key pass a game. You see the 4.3 recoveries. 1 yellow. But yeah, she's had some good performances so far this season. Just got an assist last weekend. Why am I saying she's at Charlton? She's at Southampton. Yeah, Southampton not doing too bad at all. They're up in 3rd position right now. So that would be what? Promotion playoff, yeah. So Southampton, Primus, she's doing well. 6 games played, 6 games started. Starting every game, key part of our team. So long may that continue. We don't get a lot of those. Are you sure? Because everywhere said that she's not at that Lancaster place, you know. Let me see. Lancaster. Yeah, so that's pretty much Southampton doing her thing. We're happy for that. We don't have many. All right, now easy. One easy. One easy. All right, so I think I might actually have to go to this for some better stats, but let me just see. I think them over as Israel groups. So 26. So I play Europa Cup. All right, yeah. So I have to go work with Playmaker for that one. Yeah. I'm gonna give me a little more detailed stats, you know. Germany, you wanna call in? Yeah, you can call in. You can go and run the stats for the girl them. You can call in. Yeah, that is true. You know, I don't think Naya is still in college, you know. All right, so Easy, football guru. Look at them. Look at this for Easy. Are you a bad man, the player, you know, guru? All right, so this is Easy. You see, 12 games played, 2 goals scored. Two goals coming in the Champions League, trying to qualify for it in these games right here. She hasn't played since what's that? September the 10th. I don't think this is right because that's supposed to be no, this is 10. So she hasn't played since September. September the 10th. She played 11 minutes and come off. So I never see that. I never know that. Them people are great, you know, man. These people are great, you know. 2025. Wow. These people are incredible. Nice in college. That is accurate. That is not accurate. What did I say? All I said was I wasn't sure. Because, oh no, I am sure. I looked today. She's at Brown. Yeah, I looked today. Yeah, sorry. Naya is at Brown. If I said I wasn't sure, then I don't know why I said that. Because I do know that she's at Brown. I literally was looking at it today. Trying to see like how much games she play and everything. So yeah, I knew that. So thanks, Mr. Dre, cause I didn't even realize if me did say otherwise. All right, so Easy probably warranted the call up many previous windows, but she gets it now when she's pretty much injured, as far as I know. So let's see if she's in Trinidad when the squad is there to play the game. Then is still over at Cruz as well. And she has played 14 in the Apertura. 1 goal, 1 assist for her. Hold on, she gone on the coxa. What you tell me, say? Yeah, so she has been playing a lot of game time. Starting most of the games. Playing, very regularly. Just 1 game she had to sit out or didn't play. All the other games you see her out there. Came off the bench for a little spell there, but looks like she holding down her starting position again. Look, I have no issues with the player if you use her in an attacking sense, because I think she does have some attributes that she can use to her advantage. But yeah, I don't want to see her playing defense, please. Izzy is not fit. Izzy growth stats is not accurate. So when Izzy comes and does do what we expect, because she can't, like they throwing Izzy to the wolves. No, well, I had one. My hope is that Izzy just don't forward. That's why I said let's see if she's in Trinidad, because I don't want her commission of it. You know what I'm gonna do. What you just say. For whatever reason, I don't really like that girl. I'm see it. All right, Sade, where you up to? I'm not spell it right. Okay, almost. There we go. So 8 game, 1 goal. That's one thing I'm noticing. Shade has become a midfielder over time. She used to play attacking role. I said the coach put her in a midfield and she looked so comfortable in midfield, bro. It looked like same thing. Cause when she was at Hearts last year, a beer striker she play for the most part. But yeah, I don't know. Somebody convert her and it's a good look. I actually like how she look playing midfield, to be honest. Really composed on the ball. Her technique is good. She don't mind receiving it in, with a whole heap of traffic around her. So yeah, I'm telling you, she need to start being looked at as a midfielder that we're depending on in that midfield. I'm telling you. Remember me telling her, give her a chance, play her more, please. Please play this girl more. Yeah, man, try to play every game. She just play 12th October, 28th, 21st, 14th, 8 games, 1 goal. Yeah, man. And she been playing at heart for consistently. 30 games, 33 games. You see? But the conversion, she was playing more attacking these 2 seasons. This year, you can see the numbers and you can see even in the team sheets that she play. She's playing a more attacking midfielder, number 8 type of role. But yeah, man, she do her thing, man. Very good baller. She was kind of left by the wayside, I think, for a little time, but finally, she back in the fold again. That was October 8th and was a starter. Plus, the league is finished now, so this thing about injury, I don't think is true. Oh, yeah, talk about is it still? So you mean that thing, all right, October 8th. September 10th. This is day and then month. So this is the 10th day of September. And that's the last registered minutes that she have. And you're right, her league is finished, but they're playing in this Europa Cup thing. I think, aren't they? Because Athlone Town play other games besides that since then. And the league, which league done? See the league I played there? 20th of September, 27th, October 1st, October 4th. All right, so this was what? October 11th. So there's 3 ball of play. Anyway, make we see. All right, Vian. Did not play. National team friendlies. So that's the only football you play? No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that, playmaker. I should play it on the 5th. I should barely have played though. 2 appearances, no starts. Vian ain't playing no ball over there, bro. They're out of all European competitions for the season. She started October 4. Okay, cool. Okay, so that was a qualifier that them get licked out of. I don't know. Forget to say Ireland, so I would lay everything now for qualify for. So Vian, another one, not playing. Not the best. I like to play though. Alright, Kayla. Miss Kayla. Grasshoppers in the Europa Cup and Women's Super League, of course. She got 1 goal in the Europa Cup. And she got 4 goals in the Swiss Women's League so far. She got 5 goals for the season. Not sure how many league games them played though. But she got 4 goals in however many league games. So she's been scoring some goals. So Kayla, another one along with Primus that you'd have to say coming into this in good nick. Yep, fairly consistent. That is true. All right, so that's Kayla. Now we have Natasha Thomas. We talked about her earlier as well. That's another one that would be kind of, up there with the players that having decent starts to the season. She got 1 goal in her 7 appearances, but the good thing is she's getting permanent game time. So Natasha Thomas, Ipswich Town in the championship this year, so getting challenged a bit more as well, which is good. Coming up from the lower division last season. That is Natasha Thomas. Sorry, a few times now for Jamaica, but good to see her back in the fold again. Then we have Jody Brown. recently moved from Benfica to Marseille. Saw Benfica playing Arsenal today. They didn't look too bad playing them. Don't know. I guess it was the best move for her and her probably game time opportunity. But sad to see that she had to leave Benfica to go to Marseille. Not really known on the women's side nearly as much as the men's side, but hopefully maybe they're building right now. But yeah, she has played 3 games so far in this league. I know SofaScore have this one unlocked, so let's go by check SofaScore and make sure what one. All right, yeah. So she has made 3 appearances. She started 1 game, no goals, no assists as yet. And yeah, short season so far, only 4 games, but she has appeared in 3 of the 4, so that's good. And she did get 1 start in those games as well, but yet to register a goal or an assist so far this season. But that is Jody Brown. Really wish she could have kicked on even more at this stage of her career, but it is what it is. She's now 23, so all is definitely not lost. Shania Hills, another one, only 24 years of age. She has not been as prolific this season as she was last season. She's on only 1 assist so far in 5 appearances. But definitely a player that I have time for. Left-footed striker, can play off the wings as well. Interested to see how Busby sees her long-term, because I think naturally she's like a goal-scoring player, and maybe the wing wouldn't suit her the best. But I think Bunny typically looks a bit lonely when she plays for Jamaica, so I think Hales could be that potential perfect foil for Bunny, running off a Bunny back to goal, things of that nature, and has the creativity herself to pick a final pass to play Bunny in. So interested to see how Busby sees her being utilized the best as we go forward and get into the more serious games. Yeah, they're playing her into form, exactly. Yeah, I don't see it either. Jody not really good. Jaja. All right, Shania. So now the other players, well, not the other players, but Kiki. Show you guys Kalisa. All right, maybe I need to put Kiki for real. I do. All right, so Kiki, do you love me? All right, so the best thing about Kiki, people, whole season, she run it. 12 starts out of 16 appearances, 2 goals, 1 assist. I think one of the more technical players Jamaica have in their player pool. Very good first touch. I think with her, it was just all about staying fit, and she has a full season pretty much just about under her belt. So that kudos to you, Kiki. Started off really hot, kind of tapered off a bit throughout the season, but again, the big thing, the number 1 plus for me is the fact that she is made it through and she's still playing and she has not injured anything. So yes, Kiki made it through the season. So we're just happy for that. And Kiki definitely, I would think in this squad is going to be one of the players that the coach is looking at to really, drive that creativity in the final third. So Kiki Van Zanten, I'm sure will get a lot of game time in this one. Now, before we head out, people, I did want to show you guys what Njeri Butts has been up to. She is at the University of Florida. So her and Jaylee are the 2, collegiate players in the roster. But Njeri, she was always a defender, but now she has been moved to a forward. And She basically has played 13 games, started 10 of them, scoring 2 goals and having 1 assist so far this season for University of Florida. But yeah, she's a senior this year, so going to be interesting to see where her future lies. You know, when I was looking at her bio on here, I was seeing that she's like extremely decorated at the high school level in the United States. She's from Lawrenceville, Georgia, not too far from where I used to live in Atlanta. You know, all state. She was big in the ECNL, which is a top club league system in America as well. She went to national training camps out of ECNL. GSA, which is a club that my daughter played, looks like they won the ECNL Club League that season when she was a senior, it looked like. So yeah, she's done a lot in these ranks, you know. JC represented Jamaica in the U20, which is pretty much the first time I would have saw her play. And then did play some friendlies versus Chile, and this would have been February 2024. So, you know, was playing right back then for the coach, but it's going to be interesting to see if he does indeed see her as a more attacking player now, as do the coaches at University of Florida, because she is listed on the list as a forward. So, interesting one there in Jerry Butts. A bit of a project. If she's going to be a striker, we don't really know much about that. But yeah, that's what it looks like she has been called to do. Now, Kiki is looking okay so far, not knocking her. She was out for a season. Yeah, man, I still a go, bro, because I just finished with all the players, them, you know. Watch the games when I can, got to be honest. I'm a Jody fan, but it is what it is. Jody is still young. I hope she can improve and have a lasting career and find a club she can settle with and continue to Jamaica and continue with Jamaica women's team. Depend on if coach decides to build a team around Bonnie, or do we have a style? Because City have Bonnie on an island by herself with wingers and a legend roaming her. True. All right. So yeah, that's all the players in the 20-woman squad. But I have one thing left to discuss tonight, and that is that little part of the title that says hidden gem. So I know you guys are probably wondering, who is this hidden gem this youth is talking about? Who is he talking about? All right, so I cannot take full credit for this hidden gem because somebody actually asked a question about the player, and it led me to do some research. And, you know, it's one of those things where we just have a tendency sometimes, like, out of sight, out of mind. You know, it's just, I don't even know if I consciously do these things, but that does seem to be the case with some of our players. And when it comes on to this particular player right here, I think we've kind of forgotten about her. She also, interestingly enough, was in that team with Jerry Butts as well, that U20 team in 2023. And she's a left footer, can play left back or even left wing as well. I think she's going to turn out to be a more attacking player when it's all said and done. Brown isn't known for athletics, no, but usually their soccer is not bad in the Ivy League, men and women. So yeah, I wouldn't knock Ivy League football, soccer, that is, in the States. By the way, wasn't there supposed to be a decision regarding our coach? I don't know, you know. I don't know if there was ever any decision. I don't know. But anyway, people, my hidden gem that I want to highlight today is Miss Andrine Smith. She's at Spartak over in Serbia, and they actually qualified for the Europa Cup as well. And, you know, this young lady has been going crazy over there in Serbia since the league started. I just wanted to go ahead and highlight what she's been up to. Now, since she arrived over there in August, you see she has played, I think, a total of 3 league games. She has played against Sloga. They won 3-1. She scored. Then in the Europa Cup qualifiers, she scored a total of 5 goals, a hat-trick and then a brace. And then other 2 league games that she would have played so far against Radniki and against Cervena Zvezda, 6-0 and 1-0 victories. She scored in both of those. So basically, her first 4 official matches for this team that she moved to, she ended up scoring in all, actually 5. Her first 5 games, she scored in all of them. Her last 2 games now in the Europa Cup, most recently, up to yesterday, she had an assist. Didn't score in the other fixture where they lost 4-0. I think this might have put them out of the cup, So them there. I don't know them there, but them out. But yeah, Andreen Smith, hidden gem, people, hidden gem, listed as a forward here. And trust me, she's doing her thing. So, people, let's keep an eye on this one. She's only 18 years of age. We see on the men's side of things, we have the Dejan Whisper Richards coming up doing his thing. Kaheem Dixon following up doing his thing. Seymour Reed getting his first call. Andreen Smith. People, do not forget, she was, for a slight moment, she did do a stint at Phoenix before going over to Serbia. And I remember at the time, he said, yeah, this is going to be the female Whisper, and she definitely has kind of turned into that a left-footed right winger, cuts in, deadly shot. And it looks like over there in Serbia, they're liking what they're seeing because she has been truly, truly in epic goal scoring form. And they're probably looking at it like, boy, we might have just hit the jackpot with this 18-year-old girl. So people, let's see what she does in the near future. But I'm telling you, based on some of these players we've been picking and giving chances to, I don't know, man. Andreen Smith might be another one that needs to get a chance to be seen with the higher level, with the highest level of players that we have to offer, and see how she fits in. But don't want to rush it. But I will say these are the type of talents that we need to make sure we're keeping an eye on, and these are the type of talents we need to keep on letting folks know what they're doing. So big up to the person, yourself, who brought this player up to me and say, yo, Gooner, do your little thing, do your research thing, and make you know what's going on with the player. And boy, was I surprised, and so pleasantly surprised to see. So again, she gets the star treatment. So we need to follow her. Follow. And I'm gonna try to find some Serbian Women's Super League matches. Let me see when they play again. So Spartak plays tomorrow at 12 o'clock. So, yep, tomorrow will be the first day of the hunt to find clips or live footage or some kind of clips of Spartak in Serbia, so we can get some Andreen Smith clips. All right, people. So that was my hidden gem spotlight for today. Again, show you guys one more time. Andreen Smith. A crazy start to life for her in Europe. Look at the stats, people. First game, goal. Second game, hat-trick. Third game, brace. Fourth game, goal. Fifth game, goal. No goal in the 6th game, but an assist in the 7th game. So in 7 games in her European career, She's gone 7 goals. No, sorry, 8 goals and 1 assist in her first 7 games, people. That is incredible. So all you news outlets in Jamaica, all you folks, please keep highlighting everybody that deserves it. This girl deserves some attention, people. She's doing some madness over there. So big up to each and every one of you that stuck around. It's late for me, people, and I have a full day tomorrow. So yeah, tomorrow I'll feel the pain. But tonight, it was nothing but my pleasure to bring you this wonderful, wonderful content. Hopefully you guys learned something about the team during this show. And if not, yeah, man, go ahead and try to learn on your own based on some of the introductory information I would have brought to the table tonight. All right, people, so big up yourselves. Thanks so much for tuning in. Each and every one of you that passed through, dropped a like, engaged, kept talking throughout the whole thing. You guys know yourselves. You're the real superstars. And until next time, I'm going to do what Rob Smith is saying and go to my bed. So big up to each and every one of you. Like, I am Jason Gooner. This is Jason Gooner TV. And until next time, people, Reggae Girlz, if no one else is, I will be watching you. Big up yourselves. Peace.